Hi everyone, it's Tracy. I thought today I would do a quick walkthrough of the journal that I just posted on Instagram. It's pretty different for me. Sorry about the shadows. If there is a shadow coming from there, I'll try and keep my hand out of the way. This is a bit different. I don't know what caused me to make such a cover. My intention was to just collage all of the front. You see, I received a bunch of these. These were membership rosters for some sort of club. I got them from a lady that I get things on Marketplace. And so I think I have about 4 of these. So this is what the journal is made from. And I just left the back cover blank. So it's a single signature. And it's just a little crazy. So let's go through and see. Now I didn't know about a closure. So I just had this like ribbon, and I thought the colors were pretty perfect, so I just thought I would wrap it in that. Okay, we'll get started. So you can definitely tell this is from I'll give you an idea. This is from a shirt. This and this were from a pillow that my sister-in-law had made me. This is dictionary page. This is ribbon. This is from a big piece of trim. This is Tim Holtz fabric tape. This is brown cardstock that's embossed. These 3 are from the fabric sample books that I got. This is a piece of trim, and these are fabric tapes, and of course this is laundry tape. So it's definitely a mishmash. So we'll go inside, and so I have, I'm going to see if I can just get it a little bit lighter in here. I'm sorry, folks. Hang on. I'm coming. I don't know if this is going to work any better, so just bear with me. Okay. Maybe that's a little bit better. I don't know. Okay. So I decoupaged the whole, or not decoupage, I'm sorry, collaged the whole front with mostly vintage older items. There are a little bit of digitals. I think this is a digital, but everything else is just parts of like this was from an encyclopedia, you know, the whole drill. So on this page, again, mishmash. So these are antique paper Jane digitals. So then I've waxed, or no, this is tracing paper, and I punched the bottom, and in here this is Rainbow Lila, and I have waxed it, and then I stenciled on it, and then I backed it with antique ledger. And this is just a piece of ledger paper and a little doily with a dry flower on it. So that's page 1. So this is vintage embroidery fabric. It's just beautiful. So then we have a page from a German stamp book, I think that is. I hope you can see this okay. And here we have, this is a digital, I don't know who it's from, but I've waxed it and made it into a little pocket here, and I've added just these little tickets and such, and then these cute little reinforcements, and then added another key dangle here. And on this page, this is, I think it's called mulberry paper. I'm not sure, but I've taken, I don't know what this is either. I have a big roll of this. It's like, it came like I thought it was ribbon, but it's paper. So if you know what that is, tell me. So I just made a belly band out of that and just stuck this frame on there. So there's the back of the page. You can feel it feels like cloth. Then this is from a reproduction catalog in German, so it would have been like our Sears or Eaton's. Here is a vintage ledger page, or sorry, vintage invoice, and yes, I did sew that. I don't know how I did it, and I don't think it'll ever be repeated. Okay, now this was a test, and this is only a test. This is like heavy acetate that I got with all of the free office supplies I had. And what this is for is the cover of, when they do like presentation folders, they have that plastic cover. So what I've done is I've embossed it. I don't know if you can see it very well. I've embossed it, and then I've just alcohol inked the flowers. So I kind of thought that was a fun thing to do. And here we have on this old page, and of course, yes, I use bobby pins. We have probably an antique envelope. There's nothing in it. We have a vintage playing card. And on the back side of that page, we have a tag that I made where I've just collaged on it with different things. And all there. So yeah. So this is a piece of tape that came off of an old book or something like that. I don't know, but I just thought it was sitting in there, so I'll use it. And this is washi. I really like this washi. So here's another vintage invoice from 1935. This is a ruby and pearl on tracing paper. And here, this is from, I don't know the year, but I did some texture paste on there, and one of my stencils had a little bit of, I guess, ink left on it from stenciling, so it kind of looks pretty. Okay, so there's the back of that. Now this is, I've used the other half I had of this before. It was a, sorry, I have to let the dog out. It was a vintage, or I don't know how old it was. It's from a Japanese book. And I just love this, the cover, and you can see where it was bound. It has the holes in it. And so I just added, I took an old book page that I had, and I just made a tag out of it. And this is some sort of receipt from 1960. And then here's some vintage music, and I've just punched it. And here, where I was playing again, where I took the acetate or whatever it was, and I ran it through a die cut and made a tag out of it. And then I stamped with archival ink on it, and then just added an eyelet and attached it to another tag. So I just kind of thought that was fun. And this is an old receipt. I'm not sure what the year, but we'll find out. 1939. That was the year my dad was born. So here we have just some, this is really vintage trim I got. This was from 1924 Linens and More. A bunch of these little tiny, I don't know if this is tatting or crochet. And here, this is a photo from Antique Paper Jane. Sorry if you hear the traffic, I had to open the door for the dog. And I've just added some distressing to it to make it look a little bit older, but it printed out so nice on photo paper. And then just an old receipt and an old, that probably was from a notepad of some sort. And then we have a rusted paper clip that I made. And here is a vintage check from 1928, almost antique. In 3 more years. Or I don't know. If you can tell me what is your cutoff for what's vintage and what's antique. I don't know, because is 1990 considered vintage? I don't know. So this is a little bit of washi. I think it's Amity Bloom, and it was from a Happy Mail from Kate at Pixie K Design. So this was a cellophane bag that I coffee dyed. And inside we have a postcard from Pennsylvania. This was their liberal arts building. And I don't know, it's probably from the 50s, I think. And also inside is just a piece of a greeting card. And so what I've done is I've paper clipped. This is again a part of that pillow that my sister-in-law had made me. It's just a little ticket of some sort. I've coffee dyed with this stencil on this vintage French book. And I had this is like old scrapbook paper that I had that is too heavy. You can't fold it because it cracks. So I've just, oh and yeah, I did sew this too. I don't know if you can see that, like all the holes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then this is just a little cutoff of some ledger paper. And then here we have, this is from a speller, vintage speller. You can tell it's Canadian because it has all our provinces. And here's just some cutoffs of some coffee dyed tracing paper. Another one of those little doily things, some sparkly embossed cardstock, and then a piece from a digital that I had left over. And here, this is, I got these most beautiful napkins. And I hope you can see it. And this is just, I just put it on with a glue stick. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love it. I wanted to do a million of them. I just love them. So here we have an envelope from 1943 from the War and Navy Department. And in there I've just thrown like a vintage ticket and just stamped something on the back that didn't come through, but that just makes it look more old. Here we have some vintage lace, and I had this leftover leather piece from an old journal that I had. And this is why I call this journal Eclectic, because there's just stuff in here and I don't even know why I did it. But so it's, I was having fun with eyelets, obviously. So inside here we have, this is from an antique hymnal. And we have this beautiful, I love the stamps on this. This is from the year I was born, 1969. And this is going to Canada from the Philippines. Nice airmail envelope. And this is from a Boys Own annual, Making a Grandfather Clock. And there's that on the back. I love the pages that have the diagrams and numbers and stuff. So here's 1933 ledger. And here is a coffee dyed paper doily. A receipt from an oil brokerage. I think this would have been the railroad in 1920 something. Here is, this is just a digital that is a pocket for you to tuck something in if you want. And this is from an old book. I got this with a bunch of old book pages, but it's British slave cruising yachts, and they're going to Zanzibar. And then I just, with The string, I just added 2 vintage buttons. And on the other side is the rest of that old masking tape. So yeah, Canada Oil Broker from Calgary. So I love the pink. Isn't that great? And look at the aging on the paper, where the oxygen has gotten to. So here is just, on this flip out, I've just taken some lace, and this is part of a linen tablecloth that I had. And then inside here is just a collage tag that I've made with all sorts of, I think this was a Sam Pool, and this is Antique Paper Jane, and I don't know where everything has come from, but it's just a nice little collage tag in there, and you can write on the back of it, obviously. Lots of places to write, or add your own stuff. So here is some cardstock that I have embossed, and then I took some vintage photo, and I just tried to make shadows on the edges, and I added a little tiny piece of trim for a tag, and I think this looks really nice. It's a really nice embossing envelope. And then this is from my book, the book about fishing. So here it's just telling you what they caught some trout and where they did and what hook they used. Love that book. And this is from Antique Paper Jane, and what it is, I've this is me. There's a couple things in here that I have coated with Mod Podge, but to me it was too shiny. So then I just dabbled some crackle on top. Yeah, that's me. So this one, she has, Antique Paper Jane has the printables of these little things. And then so I've made it a pocket, and then just add a little button tag in there. I couldn't really fit more than just this, because then that's the back of the tag, and I decided I wouldn't Mod Podge the back of that. So here is a pocket, and inside is just a piece of this gorgeous wallpaper, and I think this is from Lita Vintage, and yeah, I used it, Jan. Oh, broke my heart. Broke my heart. This is from the Speller again, and here's the other side of that glassine bag. So there's a belly band with this trim, and inside is this is from a ration book, part of a ration book. The back, I guess, yeah, and it would have been Canadian. Yeah, because it's French and it says Montreal. So here I've just stenciled the back of this. Now this is something I got in a Happy Mail. It was like a big, huge paper graph that wouldn't fit anywhere. So I made it into quarters, and this is one of them. Here is a page from that Japanese book I was telling you about, and you can still see that's a little tiny string from the binding. And there is also a little corner left over from the binding. So here's another crazy page. You're gonna see a 100 little elements on here, but this is an authentic vintage cellophane envelope. This is Tim Holtz fabric tape as a tab. Now I've taken a die cut of a frame on gold cardstock, and then I alcohol inked it to try and make it a little bit vintage. And then I don't know if you can see these tiny little dots. Well, I don't know. I think like they're supposed to be tears or something, but I didn't want to put anything in the frame to take away from the pretty envelope and my pretty tag, right? Just another tag. Oh, and also you can see little spatters everywhere. On So this is from a German catalog. I used a tiny piece of washi down here. This is from Antique Paper Jane, these little negative folders, and these are, I don't know if you can see that. These are negative strips from Marley's design. Is it Marley's or Marlis? Yeah, so the negative strips from there. Receipt from 39. Here I've just taken, this was from a scarf. So I've just put that over the music sheet. I've sewn on a couple buttons and vintage buttons. And on this rusted paper clip, I have this little dangle that was part of a necklace that I took apart. And I don't know what this card is from, but something about Pharaoh's daughter and Moses, but I like the back better. So we have it on its back. So on this page, we have a vintage postcard from 54. Yeah, 54. And it's going to California from, I'm assuming, I think it's Sweden. Yeah, or Norway, or wherever. They said they were heading to Sweden tomorrow. So here's the rest of that Japanese cover page. A little piece of a doily with a rusted safety pin, and there's more of that. They bound this book with purple. I thought that was pretty neat. So here we have another bobby pin tag, or sorry, holder, whatever you call them, with a alcohol inked little coin and a tiny tag. I've just fussy cut this flower, added a little bit of washi on the bottom, and inside is just another tag that I made with some old tape that I made. I have the Tim Holtz cello tape, but it's just so brown. I like the yellow better, so I just keep making my own. So here is the other side of that ruby and pearl. Now this you also know is ruby and pearl. A little bit of washi there. Again, this was Mod Podged, way too shiny, so it's been crackled as well. And that's on a vintage receipt there. And here on this page, I just added this little piece of lace trim, and look at this dangle. It's a pom-pom. It's so cute. Oh, the things you find. This is an ad from a magazine, a vintage catalog promoting Wells. And this is a printable. I think this is Antique Paper Jane. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Just a little vintage slide. I've just poked a little hole in the top with some string, and then I've put vellum in the window so you can see. And then just a clip on the bottom, one of these clips. I like these, but you can't get them off. So here I made, this was from a ruby and pearl tutorial she did on her channel a while back, where she made these book page pockets. So I've just done a little bit of collage on the bottom. There's a vintage stamp. This is an Antique Paper Jane photo, and this is of course ruby and pearl paper, and that's the back of the vintage invoice. And here on this little pocket is the coin envelope I got from Aloha at Aloha Creations. And I've just done a little collage on there with a sticker. It's a tiny bit of sorry. And this was from a file folder, you know, the ones where you have the tabs that you fold, like kind of fold in to hold it. I just took it off and I ran it through my embossing folder. So kind of looks like an arrow. I thought it was cool. So I just glued it on there. And then inside here are some stamps. Just a handful of stamps in there. So that just goes on the page like that. And oh, this was on the other side of that. So this is a receipt from 1962 for a donation. And this is another printout from Antique Paper Jane. Here we have the other side of that, I think, mulberry paper. This rusted paper clip is holding, yes, another piece of stamped acetate. It's so shiny, it's hard to see. And then this beautiful airgram envelope. And look at the stamping on the back, just gorgeous. And then inside, so it's from 1959. And there's a letter in there. It's going to Toronto, Canada. And I don't know. And this is just on a, from a guest book. You know, those guest books people sign at different events that they go to. And so that just goes on there. And that's from the stamp catalog. Here is another piece of that ruby and pearl printout on the embroidery paper. And the back is just another collage. And so that's this journal. I hope you liked this wild and crazy journal junk adventure, whatever. Is it Friday yet? No, it's only Thursday. Okay, I've done 2 videos this week, people. 2. I don't know. I have nothing left in my repertoire to share with you, so I shall bid you adieu, my lovely people. And if you think you might have somebody who would be interested in my channel as I evolve, I haven't done any tutorials yet because I just don't. The way I journal is really bizarre because I'm like, I go over there and I go over there and I go there and then I go to that journal. You know what I mean? I don't like do a journal. So maybe someday when I'm better learned, I could do that. But if you think there's anybody that would enjoy my channel, please send them my way. And if you like this video, please watch my other videos. And if you want to, you know the whole drilly. I would certainly appreciate feedback. I know you can't always take the time to do feedback, but just a quick like. I would certainly appreciate it. And sorry if I'm banging the table. Have a great day, everybody. Love to you all.